Hello.
Hi, Eve.
So we're here to talk about what we're doing.
Which is The Edge.
And what is the edge to you?
The Edge to me is a street photography awards website with a difference.
And what are we thinking that the difference is?
Uh, Coming from the wedding industry into the street photography industry, I've entered awards for both wedding and street photography. And there are some good ones and there's some not so good ones. And I know people have concerns about the not so good.
Yeah.
So for us, for me, for you, we wanted to bring, in my opinion, the best snippets from each and eradicate the bad.
Yes, absolutely.
So, what's inspired you to start this website?
Well, I'm really a big fan of community-based things. Things where it's not just about entering awards. There is friendships to be made, connections to be had, education to get from other people, to be inspired, to celebrate. I like anything that's kind of uplifting and isn't just about people having to submit things and then never hearing back, you know. So I'm really kind of excited for the fact that we'll be able to provide some feedback, and we've got a great community growing already, and our ambassadors are incredible people. So we can really kind of start celebrating street photography and making it a really positive place to be.
Absolutely. The reason I started street photography was kind of this. The amount of people I've met along the way is just so inspiring, and seeing how different people will take different. You could go to the same place, and how everybody would see it totally differently, which is very intriguing to me.
Yeah, absolutely. But I also think with awards, for me, it's really important that we celebrate the exceptional, that it's not based on who you know or what's on trend or anything like that, that we are looking as photography or street photography really subjectively and just going, that's an incredible image. And it doesn't
Yeah.
matter if that image is, because obviously there can be so many different styles of street photography, whereas it doesn't necessarily lean into what's on trend and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's really nice, and I just want to keep it so we are really celebrating those amazing images. And those images might be the first image that you've ever taken
Yeah.
or the last image that you've ever taken.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, because there's no, you know, it's just about the image itself.
Yeah, no right or wrong. But yeah, that's the great thing about photography is you could, as you say, just pick up a camera and take your best ever photo on day one. Or you could be doing it for 40 years, and then that last image is the best image you've ever taken. So, yeah, that's the love of photography for me.
And at the Edge, what are we doing to bring our community together?
So, we obviously created a website where people can add in their favorite 40 images, which other people around the world can see, and just for a little bit of inspiration. And then, yeah, I know awards are not everything to some people. I was Mr. Anti-Award for a little while.
A long time.
Yeah, for a long time. But for reasons sometimes political, sometimes corruptive. So, you know, I wanted an awards where none of that is part of it. So for me, just entering awards, yes, it's lovely. But I know sometimes, like personally myself, some rounds you don't win an award, and it's like, oof,
Yeah.
oof. So we don't want people to be deflated with
No,
that, do
absolutely
we?
not. No.
So, but equally, I've gone numerous awards, entered the same image, but something I believe in, and I'm like, right, I'm going to enter that. And again, didn't win, right, but I've kept believing in it, and then I've gone on to win an award when the judges are different. So,
And I think what sets us apart as well is not only are we providing 4 awards a year, but we're also providing the gallery space for the photographers, so they can showcase the work, they can share the link to their gallery page.
yeah.
And there's going to be, well, we've already started the blog, where there's information, there's product reviews, our ambassadors will show off their work and any galleries that they've got going on, and there's going to be a lot of interactive stuff that people can kind of browse, get information from. and find out what's happening kind of in their space around the world.
Yeah, for sure. And all in one place, because, you know, like Instagram used to be great for, you got your own feed, but my feed now is just totally, I don't know what, adverts. Follow this person, follow this person, follow this person. I'd like to see the people I'm actually following. So we do have a search icon in our galleries where you can search if your favorite photographers online. You can check out their work for inspiration.
So Dan, what defines street photography for you?
So it has to have a name of the street, like Bond Street.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
okay,
it's not
yeah.
a street. No. This is the growing question, but for me, street photography, the name is the umbrella name, and everything else comes under that, because I think the general gist of people around the world will see street photography as a whole rather than life photography, urban photography, travel photography. They all come into the same kind of umbrella for me as street photography. So that's why we've kept the name street photography, because it tells a bigger audience, I think, actually what we are.
Okay, so we're looking for candid moments that are taken all over the world.
Yeah,
in any sort
with
of situation.
You know, some human interaction, sometimes animal interaction, or like landscape with like a human element or something going on. The people who are going to join us, they're going to know what street photography is ultimately in their own minds. So if you think it's good enough to enter an award, also stick it in. So believe in what you enter as well, for me. So what do you see your style as a street photographer?
I don't know if I've got a style per se, but with my work, I'm very, very drawn to images where I've got quite a lot of negative space in them. I like a quiet image, an image that's impactful for one small moment and not a busy. My brain doesn't really work with busy.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's really nice about us going into this together, because you see the world in a completely different way that I see the world. And I'm really drawn to, you know, big blue skies, or one of my favourite images was taken in Morocco, and it's just a guy in he's wearing brown and he's walking past kind of a mud brown wall, and we've got the highlight just hitting his face, and he's small in the frame, and it's just such a perfectly quiet moment, and I love that.
Yeah, that sums you up. But I like a mix. I definitely like humour. Like serendipitous moments for me really, really stand out. Like I said, something I couldn't foresee even 2 seconds before.
Yeah.
That just pops out of me. That's what I go hunting for, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And what do you take on your hunt? What camera do you like?
I'm not loyal to a camera brand because I've used Sony, Nikon, Fuji. I've had a Leica. What else have I had? I've had an iPhone. Still got an iPhone. I've actually taken some of my favorite pictures with my iPhone. So
it's that old saying that the best camera you've got is the one you've got on you.
Yeah, which is true. Obviously, if you haven't got a camera, you've only got the memory in your brain. So what I'm using now is a Fuji X106 for my street photography.
Is that one here?
That one there. I have had that one there, which is Little Rico, which is cool, which is really pocketable, which is inconspicuous.
So this is why I like the Ricoh, because I hate having any attention on me. So having that is really good. And I actually bought it for Morocco specifically because I felt that I was being too intrusive taking pictures of people. I felt I still kind of, there's still an element of me that feels that it's just, crosses boundaries that I'm not comfortable with. Yeah. But with this little camera, I'm really can't really be seen. It doesn't. It's almost less inconspicuous. No, it's more inconspicuous. More inconspicuous than a phone. So it's just for me, it allows me to do, and it's on my little pocket rocket. It's amazing.
Yeah. I still say street photography is the world's weirdest sport. So when you're out and about, you just think the world's looking at you, right?
Yeah.
But to start off, I disagree now. I think you just blend in over time. You get a bit more confident. So, but starting off with I did have the silver old Fuji, I'm guessing if the sun's shining and is shining down on your little silver camera, it's going to be shining in people's faces. People are going to notice me. So yeah, I usually wear like green camouflage, like a soldier. I don't really.
I know.
Yeah, but yeah, you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
You just blend in.
Yeah.
I think we can overthink it to start.
Yeah.
So definitely that.
So who's your favourite street photographer then?
I would have to say Tony Ray Jones, who is sadly no longer with us. But yeah, he was a photographer around the 1970s, British-born. Has to be my favourite photographer with a name like Jones, because that sounds Welsh. But I don't actually think he was Welsh. But New York, and he did a lot in the UK, but all black and white, obviously, film photography, which goes against everything which I like. I don't do any in black and white, just personal preference. So, but the moments he captured and the things he saw, and I always ask myself, how was he even there at that point in time? Like, how? Especially with a film camera. So I'm going to say Tony Ray Jones. Where in the world is your favourite place to have taken street photography?
That's a really good question.
I know.
my first thought was actually to say New York, because it's like so iconic to go out there and take pictures of New York. There's always a lot going on. But actually, I think I'd say Thailand, because I just think I felt really ignored, accepted. There was so much going on. Yeah. The moments that I'm drawn to were kind of there. There was a lot of everyone's happy, and there's lots of family moments.
Not like the UK.
Not like the UK. Yeah. So no, I reckon Thailand probably.
Yeah, cool. Having been there, I concur. It's great, and light.
Yeah,
nice light
in Thailand. Yeah,
it helps. And what about the UK? Any favourite places?
I think kind of favourite location-wise in the UK, I really like shooting on the coast. So it's not necessarily because I love being on the coast anyway, but you just get a really diverse mix of people on the coast. And I'm not so into sort of cities where it overwhelms me a bit. There's too much going on, but you can get some quite iconic British seaside moments on the coast with people, and there's all sorts of people there, and I actually that's where the humour comes in, I think, a little bit sometimes as well, and I really enjoy that element of it.
Martin Parr-esque. Yeah.
So what is your favourite focal length to shoot with street photography?
35.
Oh, really?
Even though I don't use a 35, my Fuji is a 23, but it's a 35 equivalent. So yeah, 35mm. It's probably because that's my go-to lens, being a wedding photographer also. Yeah. So it just gives me a bit of, this is my distance. I know my distance. I know where my feet, which are my zoom, need to zoom, because I just know that focal length. In an ideal world, sometimes I think, when I'm up close and personal, sometimes I think a 28 would be nice here. So I do get that. In an ideal world then, so is anyone going to create a 32mm lens for me? Just to
you might do if you ask.
Can you please? No, 35, it gives me restrictions, which I like. Obviously sometimes you can be a little bit closer, but that's what my feet are for. So definitely 35. My brain works in that focal length. So,
excellent.
Yeah.
So if you're wandering around on the street, and bearing in mind that a lot of these, or all of these moments are unscripted, and you are walking through a town, what is your f-stop on? What to capture that moment, to get that, without thinking about it? Do you have like a standard one if you haven't got time to compose? Yeah,
so I like everything in focus. So foreground, middle ground, background. So for me, with the UK, you're governed by light sometimes.
Always.
So yeah. So f8-ish, 5.6 f8. But if it's sunny, I'll go up as far as f16, and then I'll zone focus using the Fuji. So yeah, I want the aim, I guess, if I'm looking for that perfect photo, is to have foreground, middle ground, background all in focus, story on each layer. So, and what's your favourite focal length?
Well, for me, I don't like anything that's too wide because I'm like a massive introvert. So getting up too close and personal is something that I struggle with a bit, and I'm working on. So I will start to get wider with my lenses. But for the minute, and on this little Ricoh, it's 40mm, and I love that. So for me, that is working quite well at the moment. But then I do feel like I need to be a little bit braver, and that's something that I think I'll enjoy if I work on that. Yeah.
But it comes to some people, you don't necessarily need it if you're happy in that focal length. Even longer, it's where you're comfortable, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Is there a particular time of day that you like to photograph?
I really like working with light, so anything that's full sun. So I've got quite harsh highlights I really like.
So when you leave in the UK then?
Yeah. So all my street photography is destination.
Yeah. For me, I don't have a goal. I don't have a time of day I prefer. Obviously, when you got a nice light, first thing in the morning, going off. Yeah, it's lovely. But I say I'm going away somewhere, I literally get up early to get that bit of light. But equally, I enjoy through the day, seeing the different stages of the day, how the light will fall in different places during the day. For me, and it's not always about light moment. Composition comes into play.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's handy. It's helpful. We'd be lost without it. Right?
We would be indeed. So we are obviously looking to encourage loads of people to start picking up a camera, picking up a phone and doing street photography. What would be your top tip to get started?
Don't go out and spend loads of money on the most expensive camera straight away. I've taken some of my favourite images, like I mentioned before, on my phone. So I'd say start with your phone. Phone, everybody's got one nowadays, so the confidence factor as well. People are not going to look at you weirdly or in your head, at least, because you got a phone. You're just taking pictures on the street. So for me, I'd probably start with the phone.
Yeah.
Do a little bit of research. Cameras, when you want to get more into it, the cameras you need. But you don't have to go too expensive either, because these cameras now have to compete with good phones. So they're all pretty good nowadays. It's definitely a confidence thing. So a top tip for me would be, if you're the person there in that place before the crowd comes, you're part of the furniture. So if you stay in one place, let everybody evolve to you. You're the norm. They've come to you. You're the norm. You're not the weird person now who's just rocked up to take photos. So just getting those little confidence things. So let the world evolve around you, and just take pictures away and see that it's not as bad as you put in your mind to start, I think.
Okay, yeah, that's a good tip.
How about you? Any top tips?
Yeah, I think it's not to expect too much of yourself, especially actually if you're coming into it from being a photographer in another genre where you know what you're doing, like wedding photography or advertising or whatever. Street photography is a lot different from that. And I think that when I started, I'd go out and I'd see these moments and I'd take these pictures and they just wouldn't be quite right. And actually, out of a day's wandering around taking pictures, there might have been one or two pictures that I liked and I thought were clever and I thought were a moment.
Yeah.
And that kind of initially disappointed me a bit, and then I learned that actually that's the hunt, that's what it's about. So just not to put too much pressure on yourself, and if you come away with nothing, it doesn't matter.
Totally.
It's playing the game, it's taking part.
No, it's a great tip. I remember listening to Jeff Mermelstein, who is a famous New York street photographer, and he used to go out for 8 hours a day, and so many days he said he wouldn't come back with any keepers. But those days that he did come back with even one, he was the happiest man around. So that's really, inspiring. You can go out, if you come back with more than one, happy days.
Yeah.
But just
enjoy
don't worry
it.
about it.
Yeah.
Just think of the steps. Right. To wrap up, I'm very excited about the Edge, Eve. Are you?
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I'm hoping that we can go to some festivals and meet some other photographers that are really excited about it too, that we can get people who maybe aren't photographers yet interested in it, because
totally.
anybody can do it. It's so accessible. It's such fun.
Yeah. plus you get your steps up for the day.
And plus you get your steps up for the day.
Exactly that. So yeah, no, super excited. So yeah, it'd be great to have people come join us at the Edge.
Yeah. So if people are going to follow us, where will they find us?
Instagram, first of all, is the Edge Street Awards. So it would be great to see us there because that's where we're probably going to be most active, posting often in the future. So yeah, definitely follow us there. There will be a little Facebook group as well, probably just to show when we do have the awards each round, just to show off the awards so people can check them out there. And obviously, we'll be doing posts on Instagram as well.
Yeah.
So what about our new website?
TheEdgeStreetAwards.com.
That's the one.
See you there.